Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art, and today is day 95 of 365 days of junk journal ideas. Today I'm going to show you the country diary of an Edwardian lady, and we're going to make some ephemera out of this book. So let's look at the book first of all. This is the cover of the book. You can find these on Amazon as new versions. This is a 1970s version. The original book was written in the 1800s, and so you can find different books from all different time periods. This one is the most common one. It's from the 1977 printing. Again, they do make new ones. The newer ones have a purple border around the cover, and they can be quite inexpensive if you get the new version. These older versions, sometimes they can get a little pricey, $25, $40 a book, depending on when and where you shop. And so this one right here, I'm going to flip through the whole book quickly to show you. It's called The Country Diary of the Edwardian Lady. There are several different versions of this book. She wrote several different kind of versions. There's differences in each one. But anyway, this one is from the 1977 printing, and it's the Nature Notes for 1906. So I guess it was printed originally in 1906, or that's when she wrote it, 1906. And so you find throughout the book, she has done basically a journal, a month by month journal throughout the entire year of 1906. She's detailed what kind of wildlife you would see, what kind of floral, botanical stuff you would see. And so basically, it's just a beautiful book full of beautiful illustrations. I'll try to flip through it. Let me flip through this way. Maybe you'll see it better this way. But anyway, it's got no printed text. It's got a handwritten font throughout the book. All of the paper in the 1970s is this creamy vintage color paper, and you just get lots and lots of beautiful images to, play with, to make ephemera with. There's no white paper in here, so that's another reason why people like it so much is, there's no white paper to have to cover up. I'll come back and flip through some of my favorite pages here and give you some ideas of how to use it. But many people, many junk journalers use this book to take apart and to make ephemera out of. And so there's a lot of things you can do with one book. You see how many pages you get. The next thing I want to point out is the pages are a nice thick, it's a thick paper / lightweight cardstock consistency. There's everything from birds to butterflies. There's bees. There's stuff in the back for like a Christmas journal, even like holly and that kind of thing. But you go through the entire book, like poppy journal. I mean, there's just so many good pages in here to use. Every month has a beautiful cover page that has images that are very big like this. Like this has honeybees all over it. There's some moths. There's just so much in here to play with. And so think about making like some tall tags out of these larger flower images. We're going to make some ephemera today, but I just wanted to kind of flip through. This is the honeybees again. Just kind of show you butterflies. And so this is the book that I pulled some pages out of for the botanical journals I'm working on. And we're going to make ephemera today. I love this dragonfly image with the water lilies. So beautiful. So anyway, this is kind of an overview of the book. If you get the 1977 version, it has this lovely thick yellow kind of paper. It's kind of like the color of index file folders, but a little more vintage and aged than that. And again, depending where you shop, they range in price. So there's that. You can get a newer version, and those are pretty inexpensive off Amazon. Let's go ahead and move on to make some ephemera. These are some leftover pages that I have. And we are in need of some simple pockets in our junk journals. We could make some out of these little bird images, possibly. Even just the ivy going down would make a lovely tag. Here's some that were more for Christmas, so you could make a tag or a journal card out of that. There's some pages that are just text here. So we're just going to pull some of these pages, and we're going to make some pockets. Ooh, this is a pretty one. Pretty purple flowers. We've got eggs. So many things we could do with just these images that are sitting here. So let's go ahead and work with some of those. We don't need a million more pockets. Those journals are almost done, but I do need some simple pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some simple pockets out of these leftover book pages. And so I'm going to make my pockets 3.5 inches tall. And I'm going to go just right there, 3.5 inches tall. And I'm going to make it, let's say 4 3/4, 3.5 by 4 3/4. This trimmer is just not wanting to cooperate. So there's a pocket that we will do some more work to. Then there's this one here. Now to use this one, you're going to make probably a big journal card or something out of it. So I'm going to save that. We've got this one with these little birds. Let's try to cut out these little birds. I have found that when my cutter is being difficult, it makes life more fun, right? So for me, coming up works better to cut than going down. I don't know why that is on the trimmer, but it is. So anyway, so that's 3. Let's do 4 3/4 ish. I don't want to cut that little bird, so I'm going to slide it just off to the side. And he'll make a cute little tag, and we have another pocket. So there's a couple of bird pockets. Let's do this one from the February. And then we're going to cut off, we got to cut off both sides of this one. So we're just making some simple pockets right now. It's just the tail end of this journal where we needed a couple extra pockets on some pages. I do have to do a little more trimming there with the trimmer. It's just chewing up my paper at this point. I would be better off using scissors, but is what it is. I don't know if we can get that bird out of there. Let's save this page because I'm not sure what we want to do with it. Let's do these purple flowers out of this one. Ooh, but the back side is also beautiful. See, there's just so many good choices here. Let's do the bottom of this one. And so I've left myself room on all of these to come back and do a little extra trimming because the trimmer doesn't want to cooperate. So here's that. And this one, maybe we'll make a journal card or something. I don't know. Let's see. So let's go ahead and work with these ones we have. We'll turn these guys into quick pockets and then we'll make some tags as well. So for these, I need to trim up any places that look chewed, like right here. So what was the point of using the trimmer? I don't know. I don't know. I am so over that paper trimmer. I cannot even begin to tell you. But I have a new one. It's in my it's in my craft room and I need to go get it. Anyway, there's that. And I think we could live with that one. So because this is a thicker paper and it's, more cardstock in nature, we don't have to do a whole terrible lot to these to like strengthen them or anything like that. Let's try to make a thumb hole notch on them. I am going to try to do 3 at a time with the thumb hole notching. And just simple idea today, simple pockets. We'll do some tags, hopefully. And then this guy, he was wider, so I'm just going to do him by himself. But he is great for the inside cover of a journal. So there's 4 pockets. Let's go ahead and ink them, and we'll think about how we want to decorate them. You don't have to decorate them. You could just do a quick little sew around them, and that looks beautiful. Edith Holden, the pages are so beautiful already. You really don't have to do a whole lot to them to decorate them or finish them off or whatever, but more than likely I'll collage something on these. Just going to give them a quick little ink, and then we will cut out some tags and do those. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today is a super fun day around here. More invoicing and packing and shipping. It's the least favorite task of everything, but it's, it's necessary, right? It's necessary. It's just that it's very boring, quiet, kind of work. I try to put on some kind of movie or show or something so that there's just some background noise going, but you can't always do that either because sometimes it's distracting too much. But anyway, So that's my task today. We've got Easter coming up, Good Friday tomorrow, Easter on Sunday. I didn't make Easter journals this year. I just figured we would do these botanical ones for spring. So there's some quick little pockets. Let's see what we need to do to them. We have 4 laying here. Let me get rid of these scraps. Yep, just scraps. And we have a place for like a little label. I don't know that I love the February, but it is there, so we're just going to leave it. Really just some simple little labels I think would be nice on these. And I do have some more of these register little labels, and we could back them on something. We could use some of this. Oh, I don't have it in here anymore. We could use some of that laundry number ribbon stuff down from the top of them. Let's see what else we can do. I don't want to put any book page on them because we have a lot of things with book page already in these journals. So let's start with this. I would like a little bit of music paper if I can find a scrap quick. I'm looking in all of my scraps over here. I want small music is the problem. I want tight, close together music. Here we go. Here's a sheet that will work. All right, so this is probably most likely out of a hymnal because of the size of it. And the hymnal music, you know, yes, it has words on it, but I don't mind that. And more than that, I like the size. The music is tight together and small. And so I like that coming from the hymnal books, you get that. So let's do a little music and try to back it with that. We'll just do like a little paper cluster, something like that. I might even tear off the top of this one. I was trying to save it, but I think it's just a little too big there. Yes, just like that. So just a little decoration. That's all I needed for that space. And then I'm going to tear this one down as well. And we'll put that there. And so when you put a label over top of the music, you're really covering up any words that were there. So if the words bother you, don't worry about using the hymnal music. Just cover it up if the words bother you. The words do not bother me, but it just so happens that they are going to be covered up by that. So there's 2. Let's go ahead and do another one. Another couple maybe. And then we'll move on to some tags. Simple idea today, quick and easy. I have cleaned out this room of most of my junk journal supplies just because I'm in the process of invoicing, and you know, you got to have a lot of desk space for that. So anyway, let's just put one up in this corner for there. And then we're going to decorate all 4 similarly. We don't have to use them in the same journal. So this one, you know, there really isn't a place for a large piece of music. We're going to have to do something coming down from the side or really little down here at the bottom. Maybe you can get just a half a bit of this music and just tuck it in between, like maybe down here at the very, very bottom. You could maybe move something over to there, but you cover up his tail. So anyway, we'll have to play with that one a little bit more. Let me go ahead and get those final labels down. And we need a little number, and I am running low on numbers. A postage stamp would be good up here too, so maybe we'll add a postage stamp to that one. But let's look and see what we have for little numbers. We have this one here, which is just little dates, basically. We could layer that one there. There is kind of a square one. And so just play around with it. I don't mind that necessarily, but let's keep looking. Let's see. Just random little things, really. Here's a little yellow one, and I think that one will look great right here because of the color. So we'll layer that one there, and we can still put a postage stamp on there. And then we have this one here, and it does need something. So we have this little red number that I like, and let's layer another piece into that one. So we'll kind of do a little paper cluster up there. There's this piece, and I could do something like this. I like the length of these two. So let's get them inked and down, and I will look for something else for that one and something for this one up here at the top. So inking all these quickly. I'm not inking the music. The music doesn't need it, but we'll just go around these quick. So I like my clusters to have 3 elements. Sometimes if I'm just backing a label, like these are little labels, if I'm just backing a label, I will just use 1 element underneath of it. But for a paper cluster, I like it to at least have 3 layers. So for this one, I think we need 3. We'll see how it looks. All right, there's that. Let's get some glue stick going, and we'll get some of these stuck down and finished. Very quick little pockets. So I hope you guys, maybe you already have an Edith Holden book. Maybe you want to sew around these to finish them off. If they're a little too simple looking for you when I'm done, then take them to your sewing machine and sew around them. And that kind of gives them a border. It brings the eye in, and you know, it's another decorative element, right? So there's that guy. He's done. And then we'll do this guy. I don't know if we're going to get to tags. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. I think you're okay with me going over. By now I have understood that. So I think we're just going to go over and make some tags. Just simple little things, but another way of adding Edith Holden, because we only were able to get 1 Edith Holden book page in our signature because we have so many other awesome pages to put in. So this is another way of adding the Edith Holden, getting it in there, getting, you know, some of the prettiest pages because you're cutting out, you know, birds and flowers and things like that. So it's a great way to get Edith Holden in. Since we're doing botanical journals, you have to have lots of Edith, right? This is just eating up my glue stick. There we go. Must be right side up. I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have this guy. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this layer down. I got glue everywhere. Let's glue this layer down. And then for the backing of this, I like the fact that it's red because it kind of goes with some of the red color there. Let's do a little postage stamp mixed in there for our 3rd element for that cluster. And so we are looking for something in the red/orange family. It's going to be orange. Let's pull this guy. More of like a burnt orange color. And let's ink this one quick. And remember what I said about these stamps, they eat up your little foam dauber. And since I just recently replaced my foam dauber, I wanted to ink that carefully. This glue is about ready to need to be washed out. You know how they get after a while and they just get super, I don't know, gunky at the bottom because you keep refilling your bottle over and over again. And the thickest glue always goes to the bottom of your bottle. Well, eventually you need to either replace your whole bottle or wash everything out and fill it up with new glue. It's just a tiny little one. In fact, I want another little something right there, but I don't know what it is just off the top of my head. It may even be like another little label going down on that side. I actually like that, so let's go ahead with it. That was quick. Needed another little something. For this one, I'm just going to put this on. Since it's open in here, and now we have 4 elements. Okay, there's that. We need something else in this area. I will add that later. It's German paper laundry tape or fabric measuring tape or something. That's what I'm looking for that area. So we'll do another little something right there. But for this one, let's look and see if we have a lovely like green or teal colored. Let's do teal. A teal colored stamp. Something like that. Beautiful. I would use original ones if they were all organized by color, but I don't have mine in here organized by color. I do in the other room. So I need to bring in that book where all of my postage stamps are organized by color, and that will help me to use them. So there's that. Lovely little pockets. Quick, simple. We just made 4. You could sit here and make, you know, a bunch of them, and you would just have them. They're just botanical. You could use them in any journal. It doesn't have to be for like a nature-y botanical journal, but there's 4 little pockets. Just that simple. Okay, let's move on and do some tags quick. Well, we're already at 20 minutes. Okay, this one can be a big journal card. That one I could probably make into 2 tags. Let's just try it without the paper cutter because it's just going to annoy me. I'm trying to save this little bit of butterfly over here, but I don't know if I can because I've got, this is the side where the page came out of the book. And I want to save that little bit of pink flower. So let's make a little tag right here. And then let's make another little tag right here. And none of them are cut straight, but that's all right. And we're just going to snip them off into little tags. There's those. We'll get them inked quick just because we need the framing. So this is the background layer. You don't have to decorate these. You could leave them and not decorate them at all. They're just, you know, regular Edith Holden book page. You could do a little collage on top of them, which is probably what I will do, but you don't have to. Edith Holden, any botanical page really is standalone. It's beautiful enough to just leave, but these ones particularly because they're thick, that'll work too. You might want to just back them to some coffee dyed paper and call that a regular finished tag. But there's those 2. The next thing I want to do is put some hole reinforcers in them. If I can reach my hole reinforcers. Let's do those quick. And then I think we will call it with just hole reinforcers, but you know, I'll put some coffee dyed paper at least on the back of them. So we're going to glue these on, and then we're going to punch out the hole. I will probably wait to punch the hole until after I get the coffee dyed paper on the back, just to make sure that I don't have to punch it twice. But simple little decoration on these guys too. And they're just stuff to stick in a pocket with other things, like something that you already handmade and fully embellished. This is just another layering element to put back there. But adding the hole reinforcer helps, and really all that I see doing is putting a little cluster or a little decoration in this area, and then maybe a little label coming from this side or this side. It doesn't really matter on that one. So a very simple project. I'll show you completely what we did. And it was a quick little video, quick little project. We'll come back to some more technical or involved projects here in a few days when I'm done with invoicing, but that was 20 minutes basically. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and come back and see again what we have next time around. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but sometime in the near future. All right, guys, thank you. Have a great day.